What is going on, guys? Noxie here, and today I'm coming at you guys with a brand new story time. This is like the most frequently I've uploaded in all of my YouTube channel's history. Like, this YouTube channel has only been around for like a year now, but I'm gonna start cooking on this YouTube channel, okay? We're going crazy, right? Today I got a drug story time for you guys, specifically an alcohol story time. Today I'm going to be talking about the time me and my friend Vince, y'all know him from previous stories, got absolutely clapped, just slapped out of our minds on Jack Daniels, right? We got faded, we blacked out, and eventually we ended up going home in a stranger's vehicle. Let's get right into the video, guys. So this story starts out, it was about mid-September, somewhere around those lines. And at this time, I was still going to my old high school. This is before I went to the high school that Luke and Chris went to. This was like September 2022, right? This was ages ago. At this point, me and Vince were bussing bottles every other week. Like, easily once a week at some point, right? At the very least, it would be every other week, right? But that honestly wasn't even too often. We were doing it like every week at that point from this local grocery store. Not going to name it because for privacy reasons, we were going to this store every week to bust bottles. We had this glorious idea. It was after school, and we had decided to meet up at the park that was just down the street from this particular local grocery store with this girl, right? This girl I had been talking to. We met her at the same park a couple weeks ago, and I was kind of talking to her. She wasn't half bad. We're going to call this girl, let's call her Jennifer, right? Because we're going to have two J names. The return of Jessica is back, right? Now, Jessica is Vince's girlfriend. They had just recently started dating, and at this time, everything was going smoothly. If any of you have watched my previous videos, specifically the 888 milligrams in the RV story, y'all should know Jessica, decently well at this point. So it's after school, and I texted Vince, a couple, periods before I got out that, you should pull up to school before I get out, and we could link up. I'm trying to chill today. Let's see, what's the move? At this point, he had dropped out. I was still in my sophomore year, still going strong, even though I had pretty much all Fs for the most part. I was just being a shitty student. My GPA at the time was like a 0.8. I think I had like 1 D or like 2 Ds. I had the most abysmal grades of all time at the time. After we meet up, we walk down to the bus stop and we hitch a ride on the bus, right? And we take the bus that goes down to the usual park that we were, the same park from the Crossfaded at the Plugs House video. However, this was after we had kind of fizzled out with our old friends that were there, like Lisa and I can't remember what I gave the name for the other dude, but like Lisa and all those other guys. We had kind of fizzled out with them at that point for some reasons I'm going to discuss in some future stories. But we decided to go down to the park. At this point, we weren't meeting up with this girl yet. That came later. I was kind of texting her and I was like, yo, you want to hang out today? Like, what are you on? Like, we'd love to drink. We're probably going to bust a bottle. And she's like, yeah, I'll be out there later. Just meet me at the same park we were at a couple days ago. So I bring up to Vince and Jessica, we should go steal some alcohol. And they're both down, right? Jessica ends up staying outside. We walk down from the park. It's not that far of a walk. It's maybe like 10, 15 minutes, maybe, right? Like 5-10 minutes. I wouldn't even say 15. But we walk down there and, we do our due diligence, man. We do what we're supposed to do. We do our jobs. We complete the mission. The Splinter Cell mission was completed, We walked out of there with about a handle of Jack. We scored, right? Back in the day, we could face Jack like it was nothing, right? Nowadays, If I take too many shots of Jack, I think I'll projectile vomit all over the place, right? Nowadays, Jack is borderline disgusting. I'll drink it if it's provided to me, but I am not stealing Jack Daniels out of my own free will. This was like early into our alcohol phases where we still thought drinking Jack on a regular basis was cool, right? Nowadays, my boys got some greater, some wiser choices in their liquor, some better choices in their liquor consumption, right? But back in the day, nah, man, we were drinking some straight foo, right? But I digress. We walk out of this place, bag secured, right? Handle of Jack secured. Our night is about to get hectic, right? So we go back to the park, and Jennifer is already there. Jessica is outside the liquor store. Not the liquor store, the grocery store. And we walk down, me, Vince, and Jessica, we walk down back to the park, and Jennifer's there, right? So we say what's up to Jennifer, we greet her. And we eventually decide to walk down to a different park. Because, now here's the thing. At this point, Vince was really angry with this individual because of an interaction that we had like a week ago, right? This was like a week prior to a fight that Vince got in, right? Now, Vince wanted his get back. So he walks up to this individual, right? And he was like, before he did this, he was like, yo, I should go fight him. He kind of sees him on his scooter at the park. And he was like, yo, I should go fight him. And I didn't really say much. I wasn't trying to encourage him. But he was pretty dead set on fighting this nigga. So I was like, bro, whatever. Do what you want to do. Just don't get me involved, right? And he walks up. And he basically, they get into a fight, right? Long story short, these two people get into a fight. I kind of stood back, kind of watched. I let them run their ones. I honestly can't remember who won. I cannot remember who won. It was pretty two-sided. Like, both of them got some pretty good punches on each other. But I honestly can't remember who ended up winning. But after that all happened, we decided to go to a different park that was down the street. So we ended up crossing the main street, and we walked down to this new park. By then, it was probably around like 4 or 5, something like that, maybe 6. I'm gonna say around 5 or 6 because the sun was setting. It was getting pretty dark, and it was a perfect autumn, it was a nice like mid-September day, dude. It was awesome, right? Perfect temperature out. Everyone was vibing. I had my AirPods in, just vibing to some classic music. Suicide Boys, Playboy Cardi, you know what we had bumping, right? Just some classics, right? We get to this park and we post up. We immediately start drinking. By the time we get to the park, the sun is starting to set. It's starting to get that little blue shade with the orange. It's starting to set, right? We bust out the bottle of Jack. We take out that fucking fun stopper, right? That every time you get a handle, that little plastic piece, if you be drinking with the fun stopper, you're crazy, right? Nah. Take that bitch out. We are not drinking with the fun stopper. If you drink with the fun stopper, you're lame. You're lame. Like you must be either like old as shit and you're not trying to drink too much, or you're just a lame. You just don't know what you're doing, right? But we start drinking, and you know how this works, man. The girls, they take their couple shots, Jennifer in particular went a bit harder than Jessica in this situation, but honestly, man, it takes a little bit more to get me and Vince fucked up. I'm not even gonna lie, and at this point, we could just iron stomach Jack like it's nothing, right? Nowadays, obviously, I said that before, we cannot do that shit, right? That's just not happening, right? We gotta take our time nowadays, right? Really enjoy our beverages. But at this point, we could just face Jack. So we ended up, I don't know how many shots we took, man. It was easily over 10. We got insanely drunk. And it was more drunk than the crossfaded at the Plug's house. Because at least, like, when we got crossfaded and we went to the Plug's house, me and Vince were coherent. Like, we were conscious. Like, Vince is a little bit of a bigger dude than me, so he was like conscious, but he certainly didn't remember a lot from that night. Me, I'm a little bit of a smaller dude. I'm tall, but I'm thin, right? Now, we ended up getting slapped, absolutely clobbered, hammered. What kind of blew it didn't like stop us from getting drunk, but what was kind of lame was Jennifer started getting emotional, right? Some people, I get it, especially girls, get emotional. But when you're at the function, when you're partying with the homies, when you're getting lit, nobody wants to take care of you while you're crying. I'm gonna keep it a stack. We'll comfort you, and we'll kind of sit there and kind of comfort you. But I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of blow the vibe, right? So it's getting closer. We had been drinking for like 2 hours at this point, and it was getting pretty late. I don't remember exactly what time that we decided to leave, but I know it was pretty soon after Jennifer started crying. She had kind of contained herself, and she said she was going to call her cousin or her brother or something to come pick her up. After she did that, she had to go pee. So we're like, okay, well, just go pee wherever you want. She didn't go in the bathroom. She like just popped a squat behind a tree or something. But that was funny. And while she was over there, we were kind of making our plans to dip, right? So Jessica had called her parents, and she was going to get picked up. Her parents were already on the way. And Jennifer was over there peeing, and her brother was coming momentarily. Pretty soon, Jennifer's brother arrived, and she gets picked up. But before that happens, these other people were in the park, and we were kind of talking to Jennifer, and we were all drunk, and they thought we were trying to do something to her. I don't know why these people thought that way, because we weren't really like touching her or anything, or like trying to persuade her to go anywhere. We were just kind of making sure that she was okay. But apparently these people thought differently, and they were kind of like, oh no, come with us, like, whatever. And she didn't end up doing that because these people were fucking weird. And she just sat and waited for her brother. She told him that she was about to get picked up. And eventually these weirdos fucked off, right? They went about their daily lives, and we decided to dip pretty soon after this because Jessica had gotten picked up, and Jennifer had just left with her brother. Like, pretty soon after that, Jennifer's brother got there and picked her up, right? So now it's just me and Vince, right? We're chilling. We're absolutely slapped. Finally, the females are out of there, right? We're left alone. The boys are left alone, right? We decide that it's time to go home. Now, of course, we are damn near blackout drunk. Like, we are slapped, absolutely just clobbered, hammered, right? Now, we decide to exit the park, and we decide to walk down the main road, right? Bad decision for the most part, right? We could have gotten home a lot safer if we had just taken like a different, like, kind of more desolate route, right? Like just like a route with not many more cars on it, right? But we decided to go on the main road, and we cannot walk straight for the lives. Like, we just obviously look drunk. It was lucky that a dude pulled up on us, like a regular ass dude, instead of a cop. Because if it was a cop, we would be boned, right? We hadn't killed the bottle of Jack Daniels, so if a cop pulled up on us, we would probably get an MIP, which stands for minor in possession. But we got pulled up on by this dude, and he was like, "Yo, I'll give you a ride," right? He offered us to give us a ride because he was like, "Oh, I knew I used to be like you guys, and I just kind of want to return the favor or whatever." And this dude didn't end up being like a stalker, like a pedo or whatever, or like a kidnapper. He was actually pretty cool. He just took us home, and whatever. But we were hella sketched out when he first pulled up, right? But we decided to make the executive decision. Do not do this, by the way. Do not fuck it. If you're drunk and you need to leg it home, leg it home. Don't let no random ass pull up on you and fucking take you home, right? But we're stupid. We're drunk as shit. And we're willing to risk getting kidnapped, because why not? I don't know why we did this. In hindsight, I have no idea why we did this, because we definitely could have got home just fine. We get in this dude's car, and the dude was cool about it. He took us home, no hesitation. He kindly diverted his day, just completely sidetracked his day to take us two idiots home. He took me home first, because Vince was like, yo, take my homie home first. And I was very grateful for that, because I was drunk and I was trying to slump, right? I was getting tired. I was very, very hammered, and I needed to be home. Vince, by this point, bigger dude, not as faded as me, but he was still pretty hammered as far as I remember. He was still just drunk, absolutely zombified, stupid drunk, right? And then after that, he gets home. Everything is fine from there. We just go about our daily night. Both of us slumped, I believe. But honestly, it was a W night. Absolutely just straight up W night. Except for Jennifer crying, that kind of blew the vibe for a little bit. Honestly, we recovered. We refocused our attention on having a bussin' ass night. Just absolutely baller night. And luckily, everyone made it home safe. Moral of the story, do not ride in strangers' vehicles. Do not ride in strangers' vehicles, especially while intoxicated. It is a recipe for disaster, and we were lucky to actually have a good person on our side that was not a fucking kidnapper. Because that honestly could have ended very badly if it was someone different. So that's the moral of the story, boys. Do not ride in strangers' vehicles while intoxicated. Or at all. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, sub, comment. Comment what you want to see on the channel. Comment what gameplay you want to see on the channel. I'm getting some new games. Downloading some new games. Just let me know, what gameplay you want to see on the channel. I got Fallout 4 coming soon. Some of that gameplay. Maybe some 2K gameplay if I can do it. I was trying to get Watch Dogs, but I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next video, boys.